Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. All right. Say hello this morning. It is nice to know who's in the room, and hit the like button if you feel like you're getting value from the content. Starting off quickly, crude oil started off with a long. There was the get in sync right at it. So we got in sync at the start time. Good morning, run sheet. Pamela, Miles. That goes to a full stop. Unfortunately, the short trade was just absolutely too fast to catch. Those two bars occurred in some 4 seconds for the next two bars from the setup to the second bar. So, but no way to get that short. So we took a full stop on the initial long at 23 tick risk, so down 46. And we pick up the long. This is a fairly quick long, but had about 9 seconds to get into, or at least 9 seconds to get your order in, so should have been in it. That goes 13 and 22 ticks to targets 1 and 2, so it leaves us down 11. You know, if you had used the trailer on this one, it would have most likely gotten you positive. But basic trade plan as we trade it in the trade room, we take the third trade and we're in the short now, and it's meandering about. It looks like it wanting to try to go down, but not sure. Well, that's where we are there on that third trade, and now taking a little bit of heat. Unleaded, same situation. Had the get in sync trade at the open, goes for a full stop at 68 ticks risk. So that's 136 down. Then the long picks up 80 to target 2. And then we go. Our entry was, and the YM has gone too far, so we'll be waiting for a new setup there. Actually, yeah, that was an opening trade, 14, and way too fast to catch. So the YM too fast on the initial trade this morning. I do have a short trade on the pound Aussie, waiting for it to proceed. As I was saying, 80 ticks on the fixed target 2 on unleaded. The entry was 0903, and we stopped out at 1024, so 111 ticks on the top of our 80 is 191, definitely gets us positive. And the YM with a quick short 31.9. That one also is too fast to catch. Then we have a long right there on the end of that, and that's only a 5-second bar, but at least a get in sync long there. Entry at 82. And a full stop out on the crude trade number 3. So that ends the mini session. And heating oil with already a break even, and it's a break even trade. Bouncing up, getting to target 2, but not far enough. So quick break even trade there. YM did trigger back into that lat long, trying to push up through the 200 EMA and getting through the 200. Looks like hitting money management. Yes, it did hit money management. Stop at 83, 84. It looks like. Yeah, we're actually trailing. So stop at 84, and there's target 1. So that will be a one and done session on the YM this morning. Stop at 499, and the YM and we now have another smaller short on crude, but that's not a trade plan trade. 517 for the YM stop. Soybeans. We have a long. And the YM stopping out, actually hitting the entry on a reversal trade at 519. So that would be your exit point. And one and done on the YM this morning. Could be either in there, Ranjit. I've been having some issues with either my computer capacity or my internet connection, even though it's a fiber connection. I've been having some bandwidth issues when trying to at least watch a live stream. Don't know what the user end is like. Entry on the I'm sorry, this is the soybeans chart using counterpunch. 1252.50. You need to get to 1256. So that is a minimum target, 6 ticks. No, I'm sorry, that's 10 ticks. No, that's 50. No, 3.5. Yeah, so 14 ticks. So very solid in trade there. Man, the math is not working this morning. No trigger on the short on heating oil. Subsequent long hasn't triggered either. That did cancel the short. Let's take a quick look at let's go back to 845 start on Catapult unleaded gas. Active morning this morning, it looks like. So it looks like our initial trade was a possible long. Yeah, our initial trade right at 845.19 was a long that got to money management and came back and stopped out. Actually, no, that hit target 3. So that did get the fixed target. And as that's one and done plan, that would be done. If you continued on, I believe that's a one and done plan. But then you pick up a short that also hits target, and it looks like you get a nice little trailer there. And so 2 wins. And back to long again for a full stop. And short for a fixed target win. And here's your run. There's your runner. So 3 wins, 1 loss, and it's just barely 9 o'clock. The long triggered in, and looks like it stopped. It stopped out for a couple of tick loss. It was right around the 2.22 major key level, so it pushed it back below the entry, so lost a couple of ticks there. So break even win, break even loss on heating oil, pretty even this morning. YM is done. Crude 9 a.m. session is done. 3 trades, and unfortunately a losing session this morning. If you avoided the first trade or weren't able to execute, then you did get positive on the second trade, and that would have been POQ and kept you out of the third trade. Uh-oh. I just had... that's not nice. So, NinjaTrader just crashed on me. And if I... this is one of those catch-22s. If I leave the stream running, it'll take forever for it to start back up. And if I close the stream, everybody have to look for me again. I will try and continue the stream, but I may or may not be able to. But I know by the time I get back up and running, the stream will have canceled. So, were there any questions on what we've seen so far? We were pretty well done with most of our charts. And we'll go ahead and start NinjaTrader begin starting back up, and we can talk in the room and see if it'll come back. Any questions? Ooh, the difference between counterpunch and catapult is the question. Counterpunch was Troy's the strategy released. I would say, what, first quarter 2015. So that is coming up on 7 years old, but it's a solid strategy. Works very well for you have a red-green line. I'll come back to that, Leonard. Paul's counterpunch is based on three trade types based on the exhaustion knots and a 3-bar setup. Whereas catapult is based on a single bar setup. Okay, Ninja Trader's working slowly. It's coming back. It's going to be a few minutes. Catapult is, as I say, is a 1-bar setup. So you actually, especially with range bars or Renko or something like that, you know what the setup is going to be, or pretty close to what the setups are going to be. With range bars, you definitely know what your risk is going to be on each trade, but they can be a little bit fast, being single bar setups. Both strategies work well on their own. It's what you feel are most comfortable with, and what works best on the market you want to trade. Counterpunch has been really excellent at Forex swing trades, and the Troy's SPFX Spotlight FX alert service uses all counterpunch charts at the moment, and the service actually is using 9 charts at the moment, all which are counterpunch. So that it's definitely a solid strategy moving forward, and has one of those strategies, the 4-hour pound yen chart that has been around for most of that 7 years, probably six to six and a half, and has been profitable all along that. So it's about what you want to do, how you want to trade, what you want to trade with it. All right, now Leonard, you have a red/green line on your counterpunch chart. If you double click on it, and I'm assuming I believe yesterday you mentioned that you were on Trader, correct? Counterpunch Express is just a subset of Counterpunch itself. Counterpunch has a lot of options in it, and that made it difficult for some people. You can use it fairly simply, but it also got to be a little complicated for people, and that was one of the reasons that Troy was trying to simplify things a little bit, and make the honestly he made the trades, or made the strategy pickier when he went to Spotlight. Spotlight is also a 3-bar setup with a slightly different approach to price action. It ends up being pickier on the trades it takes. It doesn't give you as many trades, which is one of the things that makes Counterpunch a better swing trade vehicle as opposed to for day trading. Spotlight is very efficient at getting in and out on on the particular day, but yeah, the Counterpunch Express is basically just Counterpunch with a few less of the options available in it. It won't track your key level adjustments. It doesn't have some of the additional things like the uh, some of the I believe CPX2 has the filters in it now, but the original Counterpunch Express, you had to do more of your filters and key level adjustments, that kind of thing, manually. The calculator wouldn't do that for you. All right, so yeah, double click on that red-green line, and I suspect that will bring your indicator up as the trend indicator, Counterpunch trend indicator. And normally that I thought the default on that was red and blue, and yes, it can be made thicker when you have uh, the dialog box up on the indicator. If you go to the plot section and click on the little caret beside that, you should open it up, and one of those selections should give you the line size, so you can make it. I think it defaults to 1 pixel, and I normally run it about 2. Yes, that's the it's typically a 20 simple moving average, but I believe you can adjust that in the indicator properties. It's been so long since I've looked at it, and I can't bring it up right now until TradeStation gets started, until NinjaTrader gets started back up. That is the trend mode indicator. Red being downtrend, green or blue being uptrend. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I know there's an adjustment because there's always an adjustment for lines and plots, what size they are in the indicators, be they built into TradeState or NinjaTrader or pre-programmed. Yes, it is. It is good as far as the value and where it plots. It's going to be the same as a 20 simple moving average. The color change is basically going to tell you what the trend is from bar to bar on that moving average. Is it trending up or is it trending down? But yeah, your line weight should be adjusted. I know it. I know in the original counterpunch it was adjustable. I haven't ever loaded CPX on my system, but I'm pretty sure because all of the EMAs have that in it. EMAs, SMAs have the line weight, and all of Troy's indicators that I've run across have that Will's programmed have the sizing available. I'm surprised at an adjustment. That's Will is almost always, and in fact, I'm really surprised Will didn't have an adjustment. It didn't leave the adjustment in there because I've never seen any of the display indicators not have those adjustments in that Will's programmed. But yeah, if it doesn't have that plot section that you can open up, and it should look just like the 20 SMA. The thing that the 20 SMA doesn't give you is the trend information. Sorry, I couldn't show that on screen with the Ninja Trader crash, but it's loading slowly here. Hey, do you have Counterpunch Express or CPX2? All right, here come the charts back. I don't expect there'll be much going on the original CPX. Okay. So yeah, there may be some updates on that. We'll have to see. I don't think there's been an update uh, to Counterpunch in quite a while. I want to say back December of about it's probably been three at least 3 years. I'd say about December 18, maybe 19. And since that crashed, I'm going to have to update because I I updated some of the charts to the March contract, like the YMs. It's loading the December contract, and that I didn't save it. After I did that, I always save when I exit out. So. And of course, what I had up on screen there behind that was the Backpacktrader YouTube channel. While we're at it, I did want to Troy put out the schedule for the holidays, which is a 2-week break. We will be on a regular schedule this week. Troy in tomorrow, and I'll be in Thursday, and then we'll take a 2-week break for Christmas and New Year's. You can still trade, but I'm not showing the Russell right now, Leonard. What we've been watching primarily coming into this time frame has been like the 1.5 point or 15 tick range bar on the Russell, using the 14 tick 14-point range bar. The NQ, when we've looked at it, we've typically been running the 4-point or 16 tick range bar, and Crude's been running the 8-cent momentum bar or tick range bar. For those for Spotlight, and those will translate reasonably well into Counterpunch as well. But as Troy mentioned yesterday, and I've said, the Russell, we haven't, since things got really volatile when COVID started, we really haven't found a chart that we're comfortable with on the Russell. Although it sounds like he's finding something he's more comfortable with on the Russell now with his latest catapult module. So we will see what that brings. So last section will be this Thursday until January the 3rd, and Troy will be back on Monday, January 3rd. Actually, I'm not sure he'll be back then, because that's actually... No, that's not a bank holiday. Bank holiday is on Friday, on 31st. So that should be a regular trading day. But we've looked at the 8-tick on as far as range bars on the Russell. The trade plans with range bar were the 8-tick Russell, and that was good for quite a while, until things got really volatile, and it was just like several other charts, were just absolutely too fast to work with. So we've looked at 10, 12, 15, and 20 tick bars, and really haven't found the balance yet between slow enough to trade on a consistent basis and not have just huge trades. My experience has been fairly good times to trade. I've certainly had some very good. I've had some very good Christmas weeks and some very bad Christmas weeks. The thing is that volume is typically going to be a little bit lower, so you're going to have the tendency to get some wider price swings, which can be good or bad depending on the character of those swings. I don't actually trade it. I have looked at it in the past, because that was something we looked at. We used to do on Counterpunch, the 20 tick range chart on heating oil, and it's a solid. It definitely is an interesting market. It's a little bit thin, so you just like unleaded, you can expect some slippage, but it will also, like unleaded, give you some really nice runners. But my suggestion is, if you're interested in it, do some testing. Don't try to just jump in, but do your testing just like you would on any other chart. Take a look at the 3-step sniff test. Uh, are there enough trades? Are they reasonable size? I don't think I've lost connection. Oh, looks like my mic stopped working. No, there we go. Mic's coming back. Yeah, I may have some dropouts while the machine is trying to start up Ninja. Because it's having to start up both my swing trade workspace and my trade room workspace. Okay. It's still working on it. All right. This looks like it's going to be quite a while, and that's been my experience in the past when I tried to restart Ninja and broadcast at the same time, or stream at the same time. Is it just takes forever to reload the charts. So what I'm going to try to do, and this may end the session pretty much before I was really intending to, is I'm going to try and restart Lightstream down for a few minutes, see if the charts will go ahead and load, then bring Lightstream back up. If I lose the stream, we're 45 minutes in. We'll go ahead and call it a day. Leonard, what we've used in the past and what I'm showing here, and what we use I'm showing on Catapult that was up on the screen early, is the 20 tick range bar. That's what we've used on Counterpunch, Spotlight, and Catapult. So that's a good starting point. All right. When I try to shut Lightstream down, it's going to kill my mic as well. So I will be back if I can. If not, we'll see everybody with Troy tomorrow. Regular session tomorrow morning for Wednesday, and followed at 10:30 by the crude oil inventory report. So hopefully I will be back before the stream drops, but we will take a crack at it.